What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Michael Cox is interviewing Miss Rashia Wilson, a former fraudster, as he likes to put it. Apparently, she's the queen of tax fraud. So let's get right into it.
Jumping in the cars at the rental car companies. The keys used to be in the ignition, and we used to take the cars and go sell them to local drug dealers. I'm stealing clothes out of the mall. I'm stealing out of Walmart. I'm just doing it all. Like before I was even 15.
How are you stealing out of? Don't they have the clips and how are you stealing clothes?
So
Asking
at
the good
first,
questions, Michael.
we used to just go in the mall and rip the beepers off and then put it in a bag.
Right.
Then they started getting more advanced, where they made the devices thicker, so I couldn't break it. So we started using little clippers, wire cutters. Then
Damn.
they got
Okay.
more advanced, so we couldn't use the wire cutters. So I started making a beeper bag. It was like a regular mall bag, and you rip it open and you lay it flat on the ground. Flat on the ground, and you get some duct tape and aluminum foil, and you layer the bags, and you seal the bag back together. So you can walk in the mall and it looks like you got a mall bag full of items, but it's really the thickness from the duct tape. And we used to just drop the clothes at the bag, roll the bag up like that, and walk off, and it don't alarm.
How long did you do that?
I did that
Some foil.
till I was so 14. I end up going to a juvenile program for stealing.
We're 2 minutes in, guys. She's giving us game. You want to steal something? Get some foil. Wrap it up.
I went to juvenile program for stealing cars, stealing clothes,
Ooh.
just stealing, period. And they sentenced me to 8 months, and I found out I was pregnant in there. So I got out. So now I'm a single mother at the age of
Oh my
14.
God.
And I got a
Damn.
thing for my baby. So I got out and I was back stealing. Cause now
Well, when you say they sent you to, would you get arrested?
I got arrested, yes.
How that happened?
One time I got arrested at this teen dance. And I had this little Mustang, and it was like a drop top Mustang that I had got from the mall. From the airport. And we went to the teen dance, and everybody oh, but the police out there. But I'm like, shit, okay, it ain't got nothing to do with me. But I go out there, and they basically set us up. They was really there to get the Mustang and the driver of the Mustang.
Which was you? What was it, stolen? Where'd you get the Mustang?
From the airport. It had the keys in there. It was new Mustangs. You talking drop tops. I'm 14 years old riding in a rental car that I swear mine, because I used to get them and sell them to the local people, like the dealers and stuff in Tampa, until you only get 3 days before they put an APP out on the car. So I go out there and I'm like, they not out there for me. Walked up to the car, they bum rushed me, took me to jail, and that was my last theft because they booked me, and I did 8 months.
And that's when you found out you were pregnant?
Yes, worst 8 months ever. Oh God, the worst 8 months ever.
Did you have the baby when you were locked up?
No, I had the baby. I got out when I was 36 weeks, and you have a baby 40 weeks. So I had one more month.
You have to make
crazy,
money to pay for to raise a kid.
Right. So
that has to suck. This lady, not only did she have to do 8 months in jail, she was pregnant the whole time. Woo! And I know them prison employees were not giving a damn about her.
So guess what I did? I was back in the mall. I wasn't in the people's cars though, because I'm not finna get no Grand Theft Auto, but it was like this. Growing up, they be like, you go big or you go home. So you got a petty theft and you have a grand theft. We all know grand theft is a felony, petty theft is a misdemeanor. So it was like, okay, well, I can go to the mall and I can get under $300 worth of clothes for me and my baby, and we'll be good. And then I'm like, no, if I can get 500, why not get 500? So it was like the greed in me and
didn't you just say 500 is a felony?
500 is a felony, yeah. But it was like, okay, well, if I get caught, what's the difference? I'm still going to jail, and I was a juvenile. But all of that had to come to a stop eventually. I'm a mother now, and I didn't want to go back to jail and then leave my baby. So it was just like...
How old were you?
15 at the time.
Yeah, I was about to say 14.
And you're living with who?
back and forth between a friend of mine and my mom on her couch in the projects.
Are you
Project to project.
are you going to high school?
No, I
That-
dropped out in
just
7th
done.
grade. Yes. I just feel like growing up from where I'm from, like when you a mother or a kid or however, I felt like me getting a job, me going to school wasn't going to help me take care of my baby. So it was either I be in the mall every day making money or I go to school. And at that time, school wasn't going to get me fed.
So how long does this go on?
I end up getting pregnant again. So at 15, I'm basically doing the same thing, but I'm not doing it in a sense of where I'm going to get myself caught. But now I'm like 17 and I was a few weeks pregnant with my son. And now I'm with these group of girls and now they doing big things. Like I was just a little Old Navy children's place. Like I was a petty booster. But now you got the boosters that want to walk up in Dillard's. They want to go up in Macy, Burdines at the time. All of these department stores, but they're making money. It's not.
So are they taking orders? Are they?
They making money.
Right.
So now I'm in a big league. So guess what we do now? You will call me and say, "Hey, Rashia, I get paid Friday. I need $500 worth of 5Ts for my son." And I'm going to be like, okay. So that week, I'm going to go get those $500 worth of 5Ts for your son. So you got to think about it. I have you as a customer. I have this person as a customer, that person as a customer. And I can easily make $2,000, $2,500, $1,500 based off orders. I'm not just grabbing items. Now I'm grabbing orders.
You're not grabbing stuff hoping to sell it. Now you already have a buyer.
So that became my occupation.
Booster.
And I just got a little bit more wiser with it.
When does that come to an end? You get arrested?
Well, yeah. Two things happened. So around like the age of like 17, we was in Dillard's and Dillard's back then they have what they call them floor walkers, like the undercover.
The undercover security people like
but
that.
not in Dillard's.
They're in plain clothes, right?
Yes, but in Dillard's they had real sheriffs.
Right.
That's different.
I'm bagging up a big old Disney store bag full of Polo men shirts, and the sheriff walk up, and I see all my friends running. They didn't say, "Hey, like stop," because I'm down there on the rack grabbing the stuff. And he come and he grabbed me and slapped the handcuff on my arm.
Gotcha.
And he started chasing them. Did you think I was going to stand there with the handcuffs on my arm?
What?
No, I jetted out through the mall entrance,
Sorry.
ran outside to somebody, and I was like, "Please, can you please help me? Like, I'm running from my boyfriend. Like, I need help." And she let me use her phone, and I called my ride, and I got away with the police handcuffs.
How'd you get them off?
Oh, God, it was a hassle. I went to the projects, West Tampa projects, and the men, they was able to...
No, before she even says it, I just want to imagine for a second. Just imagine you going through your day with a handcuff on. How am I going to get this cuff off me, sir? Wow, man.
First, they was drilling it. And then somebody ended up bringing the key after drilling it for so long. I was like, oh my God, blood circulation is getting cut off. It was just getting tighter because they didn't put the lock on the handcuffs because I ran. After that, like I said, I got 6 sisters.
Ooh.
Majority of all of us look similar. So I'm the third youngest. So I end up like, I got to make money, but I also don't want to go to jail.
All right.
Now I got introduced to another life.
What's that?
Club life. So now at 17, barely 18, not 18 yet, I used my sister's fake ID and I became a dancer. I worked on Alamo Drive at Diamond Strip Club for a while. It wasn't a new club because I guess like new clubs, you make more money, but they don't serve alcohol. But you got the people, they want to drink. But get drunk first. And I worked there for a little while and I end up getting into a fight with one of the girls about my customer because we don't play that in strip clubs. If I have a customer coming in to see me, he's coming to see me. and he needs to only see me unless he asks me. And at this time, my customer that I had, he was like, they know, girls know, like they know if you got a good customer who coming in, they watch you, they watch your pockets. And I went to the bathroom and I came out and she was talking to my customer. And no, I didn't agree with that. And we end up getting into an altercation and I got fired, not her.
I bet. Seen that
So
coming
then
too.
what?
I did it all. So from probably all the
Did
way
it
up
all.
to age 21, we're
Young
going to say
Jeezy.
21. I used to go to like Daytona Beach, Florida, Black College Reunion. And, you know, I was in the club life. So, I mean, I'm a female. So I started, you know, having sex with men for money, you know, protected, condoms always.
Hey,
And I did that for a while, but I didn't want to degrade myself anymore. So it was just like, I got to come up with something. Like, I got to do something. And it was always like, I don't want to raise my kids how I was raised. So it was always that hunger in me type to like just get it. Like, you got to survive. So it's like I pretty much just did everything. Like, I called myself at one point trying to be a little dealer. But that didn't work for me. That's not my job. That's not my line of work.
Well, we can tell.
Did you get arrested or you just got
No,
ripped
it's just-
off or
It's just that's not for me. Like, I don't.
you just
It's
weren't
just too much. It's not comfortable. It's not. I ain't gonna say it's not for women because Griselia did it, but it's just not for me. And I just was like, just anything that had a quick come up, count me in. My girls will say, hey, they got Memorial Weekend down in Miami. It's gonna be popping. Is it gonna be some money there? Yeah. Memorial Weekend. I can go down there and make probably 5,000-6,000 just in one weekend.
I mean, doing what?
Right.
This is prostitution. Okay.
Okay, tooting.
So,
It's exchanging favors.
but you're saying that didn't work out. Like at some point you're like, I'm not doing this anymore.
It's a scary occupation. Like it's scary. Like I'm not gonna knock people like hustle, but that's always a scary occupation because you never know what type of diseases someone may have. Condoms break.
All right.
And it's scary. And it's a scary occupation. I got 2 kids now. Like, no, I can't do that.
So what are you going to do
At
for
least
money
she's
if
a smart hoe.
it's not going to be drug dealing? Prostitution's out.
Prostitution's out. So guess what's next?
More boosting.
Nope. Scamming.
There we go.
Scamming in what way?
Okay,
Because
so
there's lots of scams.
it's a lot of scams. So this particular scam, back in 2006, maybe it's like 2006, there was a guy that a friend of mine ended up meeting in Miami. You're talking Miami. Miami was the town, the city for scamming, all type of scams, from mortgage scams, from tax scams, before it even became big in Tampa. But these people down there, they're making checks. They're making traveler's checks. They're making, still to this day, probably identifications and everything else and so on, so on. So the guy introduced me to traveler's checks.
Well, who's the guy? Like this is some guy
It's a guy
that you can see he's making money. And you say, what are you doing?
Guy so back then, we got MySpace and we got Facebook. All it takes is somebody to be on their profile picture holding up money.
Right.
And it attract attention of a money-hungry female.
Mm-hmm.
Money-hungry female.
Mm-hmm.
So my friend ended up befriending this guy in Miami. So she started going to Miami, bringing back these traveler's checks. She said, hey, he taught me how to go in the store, give them the traveler's checks, buy something, and they give you cash back. I'm like, from a check? Why would they give you cash back? Like, you got to show ID. She say, you got to show ID, but the signature on the check is your ID, because I guess when you purchase a check, regular, like not the illegal way, when you purchase them, you sign it right there.
Right.
So that's your identification.
Okay.
All right.
These checks were made. So of course, you put whatever signature on there. So he'll give her these I think he had $100 checks and $250 checks. And off $100 check, she brought him back, I think, half, 50 on each check. And then on a 250 check, he got 100. Like, as the bigger the check, like, it was like a deal. Right. So I'm like, how much you making? And she was saying how much she was making, which was a couple thousand a week. I'm like, I won't in. Will I go to jail for it? She was like, well, he said, just don't let them get the check and go to the back and make a phone call. That means something is wrong. But it got the hologram on the check. It got everything on the check. I'm like, I'm not going into people's stores. I'm scary. So at that time, I end up paying people
exactly. Yep,
to go in the store to bust the checks for me.
Yeah, but you're talking about $100 check. You're giving him $50.
No, you're not giving him 50 anymore when you're getting a large quantity. This for her. Okay. For her, that's her. I don't understand women these days. Like, you get a guy and the guy know a scheme, or you feel like this is your boyfriend. If he say give you half of his money, you're giving half of his money. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not, like, I don't understand, like, even the prostitution game with pimps. You go sell yourself and you give me the money. That's basically what she was doing. I wasn't doing that. If I'm committing a crime, I'm not giving you half of my money. Yes, you're producing a check. I don't want to do that. Let me purchase these checks. You give me one fee on how much $5,000 worth of traveler's checks is, and that's what I give you back.
I'll give you $1,000 for $5,000, and then then if I make $4,000, that's money's all mine.
Right. So that's what I did.
Okay. And so then and then what? You go out, you find people like, hey, take this check, go in there, buy something for $10.
Yes, but it was like, I just knew a lot of people, so I didn't have to really find them. Everybody wanted in. It's like when you start getting money, everybody see that you have money.
Right.
So now I'm riding around and I got a brand new Cadillac CTS, and they're like, well, whoa, how you get that Cadillac CTS? Then I end up buying me keep in mind, I'm just this little girl from the projects.
17,
then now
18.
I'm riding around in the BMW i323, the little small old BMWs. And it's like, from making this money from these traveler checks. So everybody want to be a part of it. Even if you're just paying them $20 off a check, they want a part of that money that they're not going to ever see in their life because they don't do anything but sit around in the projects.
How long does this last?
This don't last that long, but now I have that hunger to keep getting more money. And that's what introduced me to scamming, because that's a part of scamming. Now,
the highest recidivism rates is fraudsters.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's as high, if not higher than, I think it's higher than drug dealers or drug crimes.
Right.
The lowest is murder.
What?
The lowest is murder. They almost never murder again. Once you let them out, they're like, I'm not going back to prison.
Right.
Keep my cool. So now you want to do this. What did the guy do? Did the guy disappear?
I think he ended up going to jail because his phone started going straight to voicemail, and then eventually it just cut off. And when you in a business like that and you meeting people out of town, people don't never give you their real name. So it's like, I can't Google him and pull him up and see if he in jail because I don't even know his real name.
All right.
I just know the name that he gave me or the name that's on Facebook and that's it. So I feel like he probably went to jail because it was going to voicemail and then it just was completely turned off. So they probably got him. He was the actual maker of the check. So I can just imagine what type of crimes he received. And we're talking feds, somewhere where I thought I'd never be.
So what'd you do next?
So now it's probably 2000 and...
Hey, wait.
8, like maybe.
I know I'm probably late. Why are they not in the red room? What's happening? Did I miss something? You traveled for this interview, Michael?
2008. And in Tampa, you had this lady, and they call it self-employment, where she was filing everyone's tax returns. And if you got 2 kids, you get back like $5,000. And each year you get the same thing. Well, it go up from the earned income credit. So like if I owned a restaurant and I clean, that's self-employment. So you're going to pay me in cash. There was no way for the government at the time to know if you're lying on that W-2 form or whatever the form was that was being filed.
40.
Yes, 1040. That's exactly what it was. It was no way for them to see that you're lying, because how you going to tell me that I'm not making $15,000 cleaning? Because at this time, we didn't have to send in, what was it, a form A, B, C. One of them go to the IRS, one go to the employee.
Yeah, the employer's filing one with the IRS, giving you one, filing one with their taxes.
Yes. So we're not doing that. We just electronically filing them. The lady at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's spreading throughout the projects where people are knowing, hey, I got 3 kids, I can get back.
Oh, you got the kids? You got people with 3 kids. You're only getting money back from 2 kids, but that third child, they selling that child for like $1,000.
Right.
Because you're getting the money from the earned income credit. And
selling the Social Security number.
Yes.
Not the kid.
Yes, the Social Security. Well, yeah, selling it. Yeah. So we doing that. Like every year I got this guarantee $5,000. And I'm like, that's a lot of money for me because, I'm not a addict or anything. So I get my little side hustles. I got my little men, I ain't gonna call them pen pals because we're not in prison, but we called them tricks at the time. Where you get the little older man, just take care of you for your rent, take them out, probably do a little something here and there, but you good. So I was good. I had a sheriff.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had my sheriff. I get my little taxes. My sheriff give me my little allowance every week, a couple $100, and I'm okay. But it wasn't enough for me because this lady is getting paid, I think we're paying her $1,000 out of our $5,000. But she messed up. She gave us our packet that had our sign-in information on there from TurboTax. Right. I'm like, hold on. I got on there, went to read in every form she did, and then I filed somebody, and I got the money. I'm like, oh.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So what do? You just go to like a friend of a friend or just some friend and say, listen.
It's just a word of mouth. It's Tampa. You're talking fraud is becoming, it done moved from Miami, Atlanta, California. Like it's just word of mouth. Just like the drug game. Right. When you find the plug, it's just word of mouth. And she was doing everybody. You're talking a lady out the projects riding around in a Range Rover type stuff. It's just stupid. So everybody know. But for her to give us, the game is to be sold, not told. You put the game in my hand because you was so.
She thought she had the market cornered. She didn't think anybody was going to come in and take it from her.
Yes. So I went to reading. Keep in mind, I'm reading all this with my 7th grade education level. And I'm like, okay, yes, no. Let me do a fake one on my. So I asked my sister, I'm like, hey, can I file you for self-employment? She was like, I ain't gonna go to jail, am I? I'm like, nah, I've been doing it for years. I ain't in jail. Like the lady been filing me.
Right.
And I did it. And the money came back. Yep. So I told all my friends, like, we don't gotta go through her no more. Y'all just give me $500 because she charging $1,000.
Right.
Ooh.
It was over. I started doing the self-employment.
But
got him. We got him. I was waiting to hear how she came up with the game, but that's the game right there. When you get the game and you start charging less, that's how you undercut the market. We got them.
You're only, to me, when you're doing that, there's only like maybe 3 months out of the year that you can do that.
You have October, is it? No. That's where people get it confused at. Through the store, you have like January to April. Electronically, you have to October, all the way to October. So you're talking October.
So you're filing like for the previous year, you're saying?
You're filing the previous year. So you got October, November, December, January. It's just 4 months of no filing. Mm-hmm. It's 8 months of filing electronically.
So what are you doing during those months? You're just
the whole 8 months.
Oh.
The whole 8 months. You're filing you can file electronically at the time. Now we're talking 2000 and back then. You can file electronically online, but when you go to a store, you know how they have the date, like you got to have your taxes filed by April 15th. Yeah. Through the store, but electronically you don't have to.
Okay.
And you can always mail the paperwork in. Like you can mail it in, and they release the money.
What are they doing? Are they putting it on a
they
debit
ain't doing
card
that
Put
shit
it
or
no
on debit
more.
cards or direct deposit it. At this time in 2006, nobody not knowing about debit cards.
Right.
We know about the TurboTax debit cards because they're coming straight off the site. But now, as the fraud progress, they advertising H&R Block cards, Green Dot cards, Tax Act cards, like all of these different sites are coming with cards.
Right.
But with those cards, it's coming with a routing number and an account number.
And at this time, the IRS isn't putting 2 and 2 together, right? Because I know now, like if you try and give them a Green Dot card or something, they're like, no, we have to have like a national bank, or we have to have certain banks, and there's certain cards they won't deposit it on. But I know that took 5, 6, 7, 8 years of doing this before they finally said no, and then they start putting out the PIN numbers, and then so I mean, at this time, you're saying whatever you sent them,
they're going through.
they're putting it on it.
I can put you. I'm Rashia Wilson. I can put Matthew Cox.
Yeah.
Tax return on Rashia Wilson's prepaid TurboTax card.
That is some
And
bullshit.
they'll send it to you.
And they were sending it to you. So you're think about it. I'm getting
bullshit.
50, 60, 70,000 loaded onto a card.
Even though you don't even have my real information. You don't have my real taxes even.
No, but I have your social. Now you can't play with the IRS. The social definitely got to match the birthday and everything like that.
Right.
But you're giving me permission. I'm not stealing your identification.
Right.
You're giving me permission because we're talking self-employment at the time. Like you're giving it to me because you're paying me $500.
Right.
I'm not getting paid the big money yet.
But these people are never even filing their own taxes.
They're never filing the taxes
because they're already living like in the projects. They're not really claiming any money anyway.
Right. So imagine driving down the street, you see a homeless person. Hey, let me get your information. I'm gonna give you $500 because now I have to put the kids on there. I have to do all of that. So I'm gonna give you $500 because you're only getting the money for real for the earned income credit.
Right.
Which is the kids.
Okay.
But I got to pay this person for the kid, this person for the kids. The most people was selling their kids for I seen was $1,200. But of course, when you somebody in the projects that has like 8 kids, here you can get it for $500. But I'm getting like maybe $2,000 per child.
Right.
Because it was like $5,500 at the most that you was getting off self-employment. And then I got a homeless guy on the thing. You got $500. I'm paying the kids. So that's a total of probably, I'm going to say $1,500.
Right. And you're getting $5,000 back.
I'm getting $3,500 back. Yes.
Right. So I mean, at some point, is it always, do you continue to do it connected with the kids, or at some point, because I knew guys that it wasn't the kids, they start taking all kinds of tax credits, and they're just saying, hey, you made this much. Actually, they start doing it with W-2s, saying the guy had paid in $14,000, the IRS, you owe him, and but he's got 2 kids, or he's whatever, you owe him $7,000. They just cutting him checks for $7,000, $8,000, $4,000.
Right. So back in 2006, 7, 8, around this time, self-employment was what was popping.
Right.
Okay. You have to have kids in order for the money, because you're getting paid for your earned income credit, which is for the kids.
Right.
Because the self-employment, they're not really taking out taxes.
Right. That you can't tell them, hey, I paid you guys $20,000 in taxes last year. I need $12,000 back because you didn't pay them shit.
Exactly.
So
but you can't make that much. You couldn't make over $15,000.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So $20,000, you probably only going to get back $3,000 with 2 kids. You can't make more than $15,000 to $16,000.
Self-employed.
Self-employed. Now, every scheme come to an end. Now with self-employment, as the you now we're talking 2008. I'm gonna say 8. They want you to send in all these papers. They want proof of kids. They want this. So it's like, well, okay. They're coming out with the PIN numbers where you got to put the 4-digit PIN, and I'm like, okay, well, that's
drying up.
That's drying up. Every scheme come to an end. Hey, you can get $7,500 back for a first-time home buyer. I'm like, what's that? A friend of mine said. They said, get on there, and they told me how to do it. Now we're getting $7,500 back for first-time home buyers. So you got all those informations. from these previous years that you filed. So what we're going to do now, we're going to file all these homeless people for first-time home buyer. And they was releasing the money. We don't need no kids. We don't even got to pay nobody. So the $7,500 is all yours.
Yeah, I was thinking of the homeless people. So I used to survey homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
Only I give them like $25.
Mm-hmm.
I give like, you know what I'm saying? Like $20. I'd be like, and I told them I made a little statistical survey form for surveys.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk around and say, hey, would you mind taking a survey? We're trying to determine where we place our next homeless facility. I made a little badge that said statistical surveyor. And they'd be like, no, I'm not interested. I go, man, pays $20 cash right now. You can give me $20 right now. I go, right now.
And they
so,
do it.
Oh, of course. They give me all their information. I'd be like, here's your $20. See you. And I'd go order their birth certificate, order their social security card, order their high school transcripts. I'd make it a lease in their name, go in the DMV, get a driver's license in their name. So I was thinking, you're paying them $500. Like you're being extremely generous. That's a horrible thing to say, but $500, bro. Like, I mean, because they didn't keep in mind too. The great thing about that is for me, they didn't know they just got scammed. They think I'm just taking a survey for $20. This guy's a statistical surveyor, and they would give me the information. And they just think, oh, I just filled out a survey. And so if somebody asked them 2 years later, hey, how'd this guy get your information? They'd have no clue.
Right.
But with you, you're like, man, that was that chick. She gave me $500. They're going to remember $500. Nobody's handing out $500. But yeah, so.
Dang, look at like, Mike breaking shit down. That's
the homeless people, like, I don't know, I hate to say this, but I never seen it. I mean, I'm sure it's possible where a homeless person can clean up, but I really never seen a homeless person clean up.
Oh,
so it's like
in the comment section, when I tell my story, in the comment section, I can't tell you how many people are like, that poor guy, you ruined his career. Because listen, I borrow like $1 million in these guys' names. I get $1 million, $2 million. I borrow 5 mortgages. I get personal loans. I get $40,000-$50,000 in personal loans. Like
just real quick, I gotta give an applause to Mr. Michael. That boy was out here killing them. You was doing what? You put $5 million on homeless people's names and mortgages? Bam.
And guys are always like, what if he cleans his life up? Stop it, bro. He's not cleaning his life up.
Right.
The guy's schizophrenic or he's an alcoholic. You could even ask him. One of my questions was, when was the last time you were gainfully employed working a full-time job? And they were like, God, like 8-10 years ago. And then I'd ask them, what do you believe within the next 2 years you will be gainfully employed? I never had one guy say yes. You know what they would do? They look around and they go, nah, bro, this is it for me.
That's what I'm saying. So why do we get so much time when it comes to
like, yeah, or they were victims. They're all, I got a list of victims.
But
I give this guy, I give him $20.
We helped them.
I'm doing you a favor.
Right.
People helping people.
Right. You gave him 25.
The judge didn't see it like that, by the way.
Obviously.
Why? He was very
We
disappointed.
just bought them some clothes. You bought them some water, a meal. I done bought some clothes. Yeah. But
yeah, I think he went and bought they probably went and bought a 6-pack and,
right. Right.
$500, those guys might have OD'd. God knows, you might have bodies out there.
Oh, God, I probably killed somebody, right?
All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there because Matt just killed me Michael, Mr. Cox, just killed me with that. He's like, I'm listening. You're scamming is cute, baby. It's all nice to hear, but this is the real shit, man. Give them $20, take their whole life, get a mortgage, ID, kill them. I'm gonna show you how to really scam out here. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know, like it, view it, and I'll continue to cover Rashia Wilson's story. It's getting interesting. It took a while to get there, but we finally made it. I'm always interested in the scams and how people make it. But unfortunately, this information is 20 years old. So, guys, if you want to attempt any of this stuff she's talking about, I wouldn't. But I've been Jay Stats. That ain't this. Peace.